Do you have a hard time learning how to think in English? Me too. It took me 7 years to become fluent and still don't understand everything. But what I'm about to tell you now might just be the most important lesson I've learned in those 7 years. So for those who don't know about me, my name is Take. I'm Japanese. I started to study English 7 years ago, and now I'm an English teacher in Japan. If you want to learn English, this channel might be good for you, so please subscribe to my channel. So first of all, what's good about it, right? So if you can think in English, you don't have to translate Japanese into English in your head. So you can talk faster, smoother, and more naturally. Having an actual conversation with English native speakers is not like exams. You have to be really flexible and you have to be fast. Almost like you have to talk with your muscle memory. So it's really important to think in English. But the question is, how do you do that, right? Good news! Actually, you already know what it's like to think in English. For example, you say happy birthday, right? When you use that phrase, do you translate Japanese into English in your head? No, you don't do that, right? Because you already know when to use that phrase. For example, there you go. I have no idea what it means in Japanese, but I do say it because I know when to use that phrase. For example, when I give something to somebody, I say, there you go. Or when somebody has done a great job, I would say, there you go. I know the situation where I can use that phrase, but I have no idea what it means in Japanese. I learned that phrase as English. So you need to learn words and phrases with situations because they depend on situations. Without situations, they don't mean anything. And once you get enough of them, you can think in English. Also, languages are not meant to be translated. For example, ringo in English is apples, right? But what about this? Kawaii. I know you're like, oh, that's easy. It's cute, right? Nope. Kawaii in English is kawaii. I'm serious. Because kawaii only exists in Japanese. I mean, of course, cute can be kawaii and kawaii can be cute, but not in every situation. There are many situations where you can use cute instead of saying kawaii, and vice versa. For example, when you want to say kawaii neko, yes, in English, same, it's a cute cat. This works. Then how about this one? 私の弟は可愛いです. My little brother is cute? Nope. It would be a totally different meaning. So each word is slightly different from its translated word. Each word has a lot of meanings. So when you translate a word into your language, you can only find a word that has the closest meaning to the original word. People say kawaii in English is cute because cute has the closest meaning to kawaii. It's just the closest, not the same. For example, 悔しい. English doesn't have that word, so you can't explain it. Sometimes you can never find that word, so you have to think in English. Okay, next. Learning a language is not just learning a language. Learning a language is all about creating a new you. Yeah, I know you're like, what the hell are you talking about, right? So when you learn a language, you also learn about the culture behind it. Because languages reflect their own culture. So your personality might change. You might get a different perspective. So you might become really direct about things and confident, and you might praise people a lot. That's the English culture, right? In fact, a lot of Japanese people say they feel more confident when they speak English. One of my students told me when I speak English, my personality changes. Maybe I'm more direct or casual. It could be good, but it could be bad. To get something, you have to pay for it, right? So you might lose a bit of your Japanese self. But yeah, that happens, you know. So if you're afraid of changing yourself, it might be hard for you to think in English. Alright, enough of the introduction. Let's move on to the main part of this video. So how do you do it, right? How do you think in English? So basically, the only thing you have to do is immerse yourself in an English environment as much as possible. So you live your life in English. There are many reasons that Japanese people are not good at speaking English. I mean, one of them is because there are not many situations where you have to speak English in Japan. So you have to put yourself into that kind of environment. So studying abroad would be the best way to learn English because you have to speak English, but that's difficult and expensive, right? So here are the several ways you can try in Japan. So first, learn things you like in English. This can apply apply to everything, but when you learn things, if you don't enjoy it, you can't keep doing it, right? You get bored and you eventually stop doing it. So to keep yourself learning, you need to enjoy. Personally, I like music and I've been learning how to make songs. So I learned English, also how to make songs, right? And I can keep doing it because I like it. I enjoy it. So if you like animals, watch animal videos in English. If you like cars, just learn about cars in English. I know this is tough because it's so much easier in Japanese, right? So that's the most difficult part of this. But you have to push yourself because learning English is not easy. You always need to remember that. Okay, second, when you Google something, Google it in English. For example, if you don't know what water means, don't Google it in Japanese, like water, imi. No, water meaning. And it tells you what it means in English. There might be some words you don't know, for example, transparent. Just Google it again until you understand everything. Told you it's not easy. And when you do that, that gives you images, right? This is how you memorize words. This is water. Okay, next. Watch English movies and TV shows with English subtitles. If you watch them with Japanese subtitles, it doesn't really help you because you would rely on it too much. So you can't really learn. And English subtitles are great because you have to catch up with it. When you watch a TV shows, they talk really fast and you don't have time to translate. But that means you can improve the skill you need to think in English. So when I was in Canada, I started to watch a TV show called Friends. Each episode has only 20 minutes and the story was simple, but I had no idea what was going on. But from the second season, I don't know why, I finally started to understand what was going on. And I didn't have to think in Japanese. I was thinking in English. So try one season with English subtitles. If it doesn't work, you can stop. But if you can keep going, just keep going. You know, by the time you finish that series, I think you'll be able to think in English. And another thing you can do is change the language for your phone into English. So you use the phone every day, right? So if it's in English, when you go driving, it tells you the direction in English. Take a right at the intersection, blah blah blah. Yeah. When you play, games on your phone, you play it in English. And when you check the weather, there are many kinds of weather, right? For example, when it rains a little bit, that's drizzling. So you can learn a lot of words from it too. But people might think you're being cocky, but just, don't give a right? Okay, the last thing I want to share is talk to yourself. I honestly do this a lot. Kinda embarrassing. Now I'm talking to the camera, but this is, basically talking to myself, so yeah. Anyway, so basically you just need to explain the situation or feelings or what you think at that moment. For example, I always say this phrase, what was I gonna do? So you can start with that phrase and basically you can keep going. Just say what you think out loud. So what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I need to go shopping and buy some carrots and potatoes or whatever. Oh, I need to clean today. I need to do the laundry. I need to do the dishes, anything, everything. And if you can keep doing it every day, you'll definitely be able to think in English. But most importantly, you need to keep updating yourself. People stop learning when they get bored or when they get too used to it. But you have to push yourself to update yourself. Otherwise, you stop improving. For example, I've been playing the guitar for more than 10 years, but I still can't play the guitar really well because I don't practice much. So to improve yourself, to update yourself, you have to keep doing it constantly. If you find a way to do that, that's the best way for you. Alright, so thanks for watching this video. If you liked the video, please give me a like and comment and subscribe to my channel. Alright, see you guys again soon. Bye!